So it's been a while since we've updated you all on what's been going on. A lot's gone on since the last video.
This video is going to be a little bit different from what I've done before. I want to talk about the effect being a YouTuber can have on your mental health when it becomes your source of income. Now, I made a previous video about how merch is a scam and you can't make a profit, and also the creator economy, which people are being very slow to pick up on, which is where venture capitalists, that's investment banks if you're new here, give loans to creators like Mr. Beast and push them in the algorithm in exchange for ad revenue. And then I've made videos about YouTube sponsors like Fiverr, Scentbird and Meal Drinks, which are also all to make money for venture capitalists. And I've wondered if some of the channels I watch know about this stuff or even care. And then this video came up, and it's a channel I followed for a while. And I thought, wow, I need to share this because you don't often see content creators being so honest about what it's really like making a living off YouTube.
We were just meeting demands of an algorithm instead of really taking a step back and kind of feeling what was going on for ourselves and kind of going, we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, instead of being like, hang on, like this is more important than this kind of thing.
So this is a couple from the UK living in Portugal. They have over 70,000 subs. The channel name is Origin Homestead and their names are Laura and Dan.
Hi, we're Laura and Dan.
And one of their videos has millions of views. And I noticed over the last few months they started doing lots of sponsored posts.
The pressures of the visa and income and things, the vlog becoming a vessel to make money from, becoming a business at the end of the day, and wanting us to stay in that. It got a bit out of control. We went down a trajectory that wasn't as authentic as we would have liked it to have been, and because of the stresses of our situation and parts of our personality that were probably in fight or flight, we're kind of taken center stage, and we went down a road that wasn't good for us both, I feel.
I find it really therapeutic watching them trying to start a new life from scratch, and I'm just really interested to see how the off-grid life could possibly work. And they're trying to do something different, and the countryside's really beautiful. And when you're living in the money laundering capital of the world, there's just something very appealing about watching people trying to build a little homestead. And there's something really down to earth and relatable about them. Maybe it's because I also have roots in the northeast of England.
I think when we first started out with the journey to go to like live that way with the way life we're still trying to live, it started out with really good intentions. I feel like that's, for both of us, I feel like that's where it started from, a pure place. But then over time, things started kicking in and we just kind of lost our way. I really feel that, like, and I also feel like moving forward that we need to be honour that more, because that's where I feel like inside we've lost that along the way.
Yeah, with the stress of our situation, it kind of turned our priorities upside down, and then making money to meet the requirements became the top of the pyramid. And because of that stress, things took more of a route of how can we please the algorithm, how can we do this, instead of kind of just
what's important to us.
Yeah, what's important. So we've just realized that we can't do that again, basically.
Because it got so much to a point where, as you've seen with the footage, where the truck went in the gully, we've made mistakes on the property. We've been rushing projects because of just to get a video out, for example, or just rushing a video because we've got a limited time when we're there in Portugal and we just want to try and get as much as we can done, rushing things. Then the situation which we didn't describe as well, for me personally, I pushed myself so hard, just kind of neglecting emotions that were coming up inside of us. I was just avoiding certain things that I wasn't wanting to face inside, certain emotions, and then I ended up just working myself too hard. Laura worked herself too hard. Laura went to the hospital because of that. Then I ended up having I don't know what you want to call it, a mini stroke, if you want to call it that.
I was so shocked when he said that because I just wasn't expecting them to be going through something like that, and my heart really goes out to them. They seem so young and healthy, and I really hope they're feeling better because I've noticed they used to put out videos every week and they've definitely taken a bit of a break. I hope they've taken the pressure off of themselves, and it just made me think about, these are real people that we're watching, and I think it's really important to acknowledge the effects of the algorithm on all of us.
I think we were using the excuse of we have to make the videos to make money to get the visa as an excuse to kind of neglect certain things that were coming up for us. The YouTube became a demand that I had to meet. I had to keep building because that was another demand.
The viewer is as much a part of the YouTube ecosystem, if you want to call it that, as the creator, and it's very easy to get caught up, as I've shown in previous videos.
You're living your life and you're out there doing whatever you're doing, trying to find your way in life, and that also has that impact. Because I think where that gets the misconception of that happens is because if we're faking something, then you're living your life. How's that really?
And then you don't get to see the truth of a situation. So if you come into that situation as well without the full truth of it, then
yeah. But even just in general, just sometimes you might be having a hard day, and then you see this, we're kind of creating this fake perception, and it might make you worse or something. Might make you feel like you might think why I haven't got that. But we want to just share the whole perspective of everything that's going on, so that and get true as we can, so that dynamic and that relationship between you watching us and you doing whatever you're doing in your life, it gives you all the information that you from the so there's no lies happening.
Yeah. So it might mean that when we go back, things aren't getting done as quickly or as rapidly, and we're not just banging off the jobs to pump out the videos and get the views in and get the sponsorships and everything like that. It might mean that we take
things a lot more slower.
We might take maybe weeks and weeks to plan out a job just so we can make sure everything's done from a correct perspective. So we want to embody that a bit more when we're out there. We're not perfect. We're just trying to
navigate it all,
rearrange and nudge ourselves in a more loving direction. But yeah, that's where we're at. I feel like
we're looking forward to going back.
We're looking forward to going back, but with a new mindset, and not with the intention to provide so much content, and just with a bit more intentionally. We want to go back and just make it more of a home for us and a more livable, nice environment to be in, rather than a film set, which it has felt like a lot of times. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And see where we go from there,
Yeah.
and what unfolds.
Yeah.
I really appreciate their honesty, and to me it really highlights how unhealthy this YouTube creator economy system is. Not just for the creator, but often you'll see in the comments how demanding some people are about what they want to see. I don't know if that's the reason why they turn their comments off, but who can blame them if it is? There are people posting hours of content every day, and that's what dominates the space. I noticed during the hurricanes there are people driving around in 100-mile-an-hour storm winds, and they're getting thousands if not millions of views, which I almost feel bad watching. It's like, I believe you how bad the weather is, but I don't want to see you die. And some of them are going live for hours. There was a video made, I think it was last year, by Maggie May Fish, exposing the homestead grift. And it's just a reminder to think critically of what you're seeing on screen. There are people using the idea of the off-grid homestead dream to build up a following, to make money off ad revenue, and they often use volunteers for workers, much like the charity sector. But the reality is they're sponsored by financial institutions.
This is Brent.
Hello there! My name is Brent.
If Brent were to tell you his story, he'd say that he used all of his life savings to buy this old mining town called Cerro Gordo, 3 hours outside of LA. He's passionate about history and can't wait to fix up Cerro Gordo for generations to come and learn about the people who lived here over 150 years ago. While he's completely alone in this old ghost town. But if I were to tell Brent's story, I would put it like this. This is Brent, a former investment banker who became a partner in a marketing firm. He bought an old mining town for $1.4 million in 2018 with an investment group whose members include a Hulu executive and a former American Apparel executive. And he can't wait to fix it up for all the people pre-gaming Coachella.
We hope to have this online in a month or two, and depending on how the coronavirus thing goes, this could be the first place you come and stay if you visit us here.
He gives a tour of the old American Hotel, along with all the historical relics that remained at the site.
You see the saloon and the American Hotel?
But just 2 videos later, the hotel burned to the ground.
About 5 hours ago, around 2:30 in the morning, a fire burned down our hotel here at Cerro Gordo, the American Hotel. Last night I woke up to an explosion of the propane tank in the hotel, and by the time I got outside, the building was already halfway down.
The American Hotel was presumably fine for 100 years until he showed up, and within weeks, the propane tank blew up.
Why would you keep a propane tank in an old wooden flammable hotel building? Brent is not the only person who shows up in the algorithm and is not being honest about his true circumstances. He immediately started a GoFundMe. How many people that volunteered to work for him in super dangerous conditions knew that he was being sponsored by an investment bank? And if you go and check out the rest of the video, you'll find out that he prides himself on being a marketing manipulator. This is not to say that there are not genuine homesteaders around, because there are, but more to raise questions and awareness of the intentions behind every channel. Filming and editing take time and effort. People don't want to see mistakes, they want to see the finished product, but that's not always realistic and it doesn't always look good on camera. And as a creative person myself, the issue of accepting sponsorship and stretching your integrity is something that bothers me outside of this platform, and I really appreciate Origin Homestead speaking out. I think expectations have been raised to unachievable levels on this platform by people like Mr. Beast, and I've made a whole video about him. He's becoming a victim of his own system, if you haven't heard. A lot of people talk about YouTube, what it should be like, what it used to be like, how it's become a predator's breeding ground, and not much is being done about it. I've done a lot of research into who's behind the financial control of these businesses, and it all leads back to the same banks. Their control over how we live is at breaking point. It's affecting our mental health and our environment. I've been trying to figure it out for a long time as a creative person and a business owner for the sake of my mental health. Without us and our work, these banks would have nothing. And I've come on here to really share my information and open up discussions with other people who feel the same. And that's all I've really got to say on this one. We can at least try to make better choices on what to watch instead of allowing the algorithm to choose for us. I really appreciate all the new subscribers and comments. I will make another video about the Nicola Bully case. This video I had started previously, so I just wanted to get this one finished. And I do want to say a big shout out to the Origin Homestead. I hope they're doing good, and to everyone else, you all take care.